Well, the request is varying if I read the placards.
All right.
If I read the placards, I see requests for duty-free.
Have you seen any request that is unreasonable?
I have seen requests that are outside of the scope of what the country can afford. For example, I've seen requests for duty-free across the board, it seems, right? For nurses, I've seen...
After 6 years of service.
Well, then you can go to all categories of workers. We can't look, you see, when you're running a country and you're running a system, you can't only look at one category of workers. You have to look at a broad spectrum. Because what you do in one category will affect what you do in another category. We are committed to ensuring that the prospects of workers are better. And by the end of this 5 years, I can assure the nurses, the doctors, the farmers, everyone would understand the full impact and positive impact of what we have on in the manifesto for them and their families.
But Mr. President, you're saying that you're spending money, almost $100 billion in vehicles for the President, the Prime Minister, also on reopening sugar estates without any problems.
So hold a second.
That's the argument.
Hold a second. Let me get this straight. They're saying that we're spending $5 billion on the reopening of sugar, and that is the justification for their action.
They're saying that
where was the solidarity when more than 7,000 sugar workers were sent home? What was the situation then? Where was the solidarity when almost 1,000 bauxite workers lost their jobs? So are you saying that the government, and you have to, there was no socio-economic analysis of the impact of the closure of the estates? We forget that. We're missing that question. We don't want answer to that anymore. We understand, you can see, you can physically see the socio-economic impact of the closure of the estates in those communities. And we can't have apologies for bringing back those jobs, creating those jobs. Similarly, we can't have apologies for the subsidies we're going to put and the efforts we're going to put into bauxite or we're going to put into mining. Then I heard the budget is a private sector budget. How do we create growth? How do we create employment? How do we create opportunities? So those are the type of narrative that I find to be convenient and divisive, if I put it that way.
And vehicles for yourself and the Prime Minister?
Well, I know that there is a block figure, and I'm going to give you the analysis very shortly. I have asked Minister Indar to add up how much money was spent on vehicles on the APNU AFC. There is only one block figure for vehicles in the budget, $95 million. Not only for it's not only for President, it is for the government services. Because right now we have ministers who don't have access to vehicles. How are they going to move around? We have technical people who don't have access to vehicles. We have the entire DPI, not DPI, the press team. They're borrowing a vehicle from Office of the President now. How do we cover events? The question is, what happened with the hundreds of millions of dollars running into almost $500 million that was spent on vehicles over the last 5 years? What has happened to those vehicles? Where are those vehicles, and how has these vehicles been destroyed to the extent that they are today? That is a better question. Thank you very much.